Hello. Hello, I'm live. So, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Capucine Chiaudani. For all the persons who know me, probably you are one of my fans or followers who follow my channel or my social medias. If you don't know me, well, my name is Capucine. It's the name of a flower, Chiaudani. But I'm Italian. The name is a French name. I'm Italian from Genova, the city of Paganini. And I welcome you to this live where we will discuss interesting topics about voice. I'm an Italian dramatic soprano, and I am now an international vocal coach online and in presence, and also an accredited professor for voice at the Calaidos University, Zurich. But let's go directly to the content. So today I wanted to ask myself and yourself what makes actually an exceptional singer. What is the difference between a good singer and an exceptional singer? Is it just talent? Is it a blessing that you receive from God, from your father, from your mother? Is it just there, or is it a skill that we can learn, abilities that we can train? Well, the answer is, with rare exceptions, it's about abilities and skills that we can learn, exactly in the way you learn to play the piano, or to play a violin, or to drive a car, or to learn a language. Of course, there are some persons who might be faster than others, but these are certainly skills that we can learn if we know what steps to do in order to master an instrument, a language, your voice. So, to master our instrument, we need consciousness and clarity, a clear mind, a clear map here of what is really essential, what really makes a difference. It's not 1 million things, as maybe you think. A vocal technique, when it's healthy, makes your singing quite easy and natural. So, when vocal technique is too difficult and it's too complicated, maybe there is something missing. When vocal technique functions, very often it functions on the spot because it's based on our body. Imagine always yourself, not just as two vocal folds. You can maybe imagine a violoncello, which has chords and a body around it. Well, this image maybe might help you. We need to understand how to coordinate the voice with the rest, with our body, with all what is around the vocal folds. And this is what we are doing here today. Okay. So, to do this, to get this clarity and to get a map, a direction, what help us and what does not help us, let's get rid with the main 11 misconceptions about voice and singing. First misconception: support means pushing. Many singers think this, and many singers do this, consciously or unconsciously. Pushing what? What is the subject of the sentence? We push excess of air against our vocal folds, against our little, tiny, fragile 1 centimeter, 1.5 centimeter instrument. Yes? So it's like tons of atoms, like a boomerang, like a tornado, against the vocal folds. This is not okay. The vocal folds suffer, the vocal folds are fragile, are delicate, so never push air. Remember that everything that goes in wants to get out as soon as possible. This is why we inhale and exhale automatically every minute, more times, 20 times approximately, without noticing it. You don't need to push air. Support is not about pushing air, but It means actually leaning on the air. In Italian language, we have a nice word which is appoggio. Appoggio is the Italian translation. Appoggio means this. Oh, 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 I'm leaning. So I'm resting, I'm leaning. Mm? And we also say in Italian language, cantare sul fiato, singing on the air. So we lean on the air. With what do we lean on the air? With, ta-dan, tan, tan, who knows it in the chat? With the vocal folds. We lean on the air with the vocal folds. We control the air with the vocal folds. So support is the golden balance between the exit, mm, what gets in and what gets out. Actually, this is the appoggio. How much we can resist the air and how much flow we let go through the vocal folds to phonate. This is the real healthy support, not pushing. So misconception number one. Okay, misconception number two. Very, very often, very frequent, both by students, beginners, and professionals. Louder is better. Oh my God. Louder is not better. Louder is not better because if we sing and think that louder is better, we will then come to the point that we push, that we overwork, overpush, and singing becomes an excess of tension. And this will not serve you at all because by pushing, by getting louder, first of all, you will disturb the ears of your audience after a while, like, oh my God. And it makes you not an interesting singer. Interesting singers are singers who have one instrument and many voices, who can sing with many colors, many dynamics, from piano to mezzo piano to mezzo forte to fortissimo to messa di voce to diminuendo to crescendo. This makes you interesting. There are few examples of really stars of this business with very little voices, without mentioning names, who made a world star career because they were able to develop this wonderful skill of having many colors, like a sort of Van Gogh singer. And this is what we should aim for. Louder is not always better. Louder will bring you, if this is your main thought, to again pushing and overworking. Another misconception, very, very frequent, is okay, especially for female voices, chest voice is one planet and head voice is another planet. No, no, no. We have one voice, and our work is to melt these registers. We can do it through training with, for example, glissandos. Glissandos at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's the stones that break, it's the little drop of water that breaks the stones. Glissandos are our best friends because glissandos will make an even voice through all registers and through eventually breaks you might have in the voice. Okay, so work with glissandos and work also with silent sirens, which are actually glissandos very, very piano, which means with good vocal folds closure, but little pressure, which is actually the top of the top of the top. To be able to have the best ever, the best vocal folds closure with little effort and with little pressure, one of the most difficult things to do. So these are, for example, some misconceptions I frequently, very frequently encounter in my coaching sessions, online and in presence through the world. So to avoid these misconceptions and become an exceptional singer, first of all, please do not create problems that were not existing. So be aware of this. Don't underestimate these misconceptions because they are really, 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 really very frequent. Maybe You also have this in your mind, and try, well, mm, to find the right answers. Clarity. I think that if you want really to sing well, the best time, the best energy, and even money spent is when you can find answers. It has not to be me, but certainly you should find good trainers, good vocal teachers who you trust. So if you're lost, it's not your fault. It's just because no one told you what to do. I was also lost. I was not always an exceptional singer. I became one as a mature singer later. As a beginner, I was a bit working just on talent and casualty. Hopefully, today it's a good day. It's but now that I know what to do exactly, because I have clarity, I have a direction, I have a map in my head, for me, singing became very, very, very easy, natural, and sustainable. So, in that sense, I want to mention you that I will offer, in fact, very soon, already this Sunday, a masterclass, The Voice Unlocked, where I will give you these answers and this clarity, because every one of you deserves answers. Otherwise, you lose time, essential years, and even money doing maybe the wrong thing. Try to understand that training is not always beneficial if you train in the wrong way. The training is beneficial only if it is a healthy training. So if you are a bit in a foggy world and confused, and you didn't still get clear directions and consciousness, stop the train. Don't go on, because probably you are learning mistakes. I say it for myself because it was like this in my life when I was very young, and I lost well, some opportunities because I went on training in the wrong way, until finally consciousness came. Consciousness came to me in a very special way. I lost my voice completely through a very severe illness, where I had to do very strong therapies, chemotherapies, and other terrible things I don't want to mention. And this had a terrible impact on my voice. So what happened then? I was already in career. It happened that I said, well, not with me. No, 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 no. I will stand up and find again my voice. What I did through the help of really very, very wonderful doctors of the voice, who taught me actually how to use my instrument in a very healthy way. So what I preach is very grounded, and in fact, I gained again back my voice better than before, and through this experience I am able to coach and to also help others. So this is what I will do also in the coming masterclass this Sunday. But let's go on with the misconceptions, because there are many other misconceptions, very frequent, that I find in my coaching sessions. Bigger mouth or big mouth is a better sound. Are you sure? A better sound has always to do with a widespread mouth, really? or or not? Be careful. Every range has its own opening. So the more we go up, the more we have to open. But it's not always a big mouth that creates a better sound. In fact, you might lose your sound and the breath control by opening too much if you do it too early in the wrong moment. It's a bit like, when you give the water in the garden with a tube. You reduce the tube, in fact, to have more projection. Is it correct? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. So when you reduce the tube, you get immediately more more speed. And this is actually what happens with us. So if I spread my middle range, for example, I will sound like this. But if I create a channel of the voice with my lips and oval position, I will, in fact, gain more consistency of sound. So bigger mouth is not always a better sound. It depends. Of course, for extreme high range, when we are singing high natural, a B natural, sorry, or a C natural, yes, but not always. Be aware of this. Otherwise, you are creating a problem that was, in fact, not existing. Another misconception is, oh, operatic singing. All right, then I have to oh, to create the vibrato. No, never create the vibrato. Vibrato should be natural and it happens on its own when you have found the golden balance. If you do not have the vibrato, it tells us only one thing, that you are not at that point of the golden balance and there is an excess of tension. Yeah. So it's not adding the vibrato artificially, but looking for where are the tensions and can we solve the tensions? Can we define them? Yes, can we identify them and solve them? Another misconception, this is really important for us opera singer, especially, is the overbreathing. Very often we think the more I breathe, the better I sound, right? Well, be careful about that because it's not really true. We need long breaths only when needed, when we have really, really, really a long sentence. It's not really so that to sing well and have a good result, I need to overbreathe because this creates an excess of pressure that I cannot contain and that I cannot control, and that comes up like a bomb against my vocal folds, creating wobble, creating problems of pitch, creating high larynx, creating rigidity because the vocal folds try to obstaculate this amount of excessive pressure, becoming more rigid. So you will lose the flexibility, you will lose the piani, and you will lose the agility. So overbreathing is really, really something you should not do. Also, if you are outside on a very noisy square and you call a taxi or you call a friend, hey, taxi, hey, did I breathe? Did I? Yeah? No? Of course not. So is it the breath that commands? Not really. What commands are the vocal folds? The vocal folds command the breath. The vocal folds gave me this, hey, taxi, Eva, and I can do it Eva! Higher. It's the same. I'm not breathing to do this. I have enough breath still in my lungs because I'm alive, as you can see. So I would actually take a longer breath only if I would do a longer sentence. Do you understand the difference? So this overbreathing thing is very typical for opera singers at any age, at any level. Please get rid of this in your mind, first of all, okay? And then also, then next question that many students put to me, so is if vocal technique gives you a direction, if vocal technique gives you a map, so it should be effortless, huh? Well, this is a bit too much. It's not effortless, it's just avoiding excess of blockades and tensions which we do not need. Of course, there is a bit of effort, but it is a sustainable effort because the effort is sustained muscularly by the whole body and not by 1 centimeter, 1.5 centimeter vocal folds. So, voice is a product, muscular product, but muscular product also in the sense of the torso, of the back, of the head, of the neck muscles, all the muscles involved in sustaining the effort. So there is effort, but there is a healthy, sustainable effort. This is what vocal technique gives us. So again, for the ones who came in the live a bit later, I will offer to give you the instructions and the directions, what really makes the difference, how to make your singing more natural, how to make it more easy, how to make it more sustainable. I will offer two master classes. I mean, one master class is in two appointments. The first appointment is already this Sunday, 12th of July. And the second appointment is on the 19th, always Sunday of July, 7 p.m. It's the Voice Unlocked. So you will find there more clarity if you need more clarity, and if you need to know what to do and what not to do. It's important. Otherwise, the point is that you will train mistakes. And training mistakes is the worst thing you can do to yourself, because it's very difficult then for a voice teacher to erase this wrong app, let's say, and upload a new one. So stop if you are in a moment of confusion, of vocal crisis, of not clarity, not consciousness. It's not a shame, it's not a blame. We all went through this more than once in our life, but you need to ask yourself what is missing, what is the mistake or the mistakes. So certainly the misconceptions I mentioned until now, and I just mentioned seven, there are more which are very frequent, and I'm sure that you recognize yourself at least in one of or two of these points. I'm quite sure, because I have enough experience to say this. There are other misconceptions, very very frequent, that impacts our singing. For example, to try to create immediately at the start of our studies, the Fach identity. Well, be aware that the Fach identity is something, it's a result of years of training. You should not ask to a teacher after a few lessons, can you tell me what kind of soprano am I? Drammatico, leggero, drammatico di coloratura, lirico, lirico pieno, blah, 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 blah. Because the body and the coordination is not still there. I had many examples of persons who came to me. Someone who was, oh, I can sing Madama Butterfly. Really? Oh, yes. And then they were incredibly beautiful, dark mezzo soprano. Do you understand how far they were from the truth? And the truth came after years of trainings. Although my ear already recognized that that could not be. It could not be true, but it's the vocal technique that will give you the answer. So don't try to decide immediately at the start of your studies, or if you're a teacher with your students, about the Fach. It's very misleading. It's very, very dangerous, with little exceptions where it might be very clear. Usually the voice will find its placement through the training. Another misconception also that I encounter when persons have problems with high notes. What do they do? Well, they go in the fighting, in the fighting mode, like Jeanne d'Arc, and they create more tension. So they fight actually more. And the answer and the solution, in fact, 80% of the times is to release tension, to let go, to surrender, to abandon. There is an excess of tension already. So it's not building on this excess of tension. Again, another block of excess of tension. Sorry. But it's by actually getting rid of these tensions, trying to find flexibility, especially in the body. For this can help a lot also movement. Movement is an incredible effective way to get rid of excess of tensions, for example. So if you have problems with high notes, I am an example of that. I'm an Italian dramatic soprano. My voice is for Tosca, for example, yeah, for those kind of beautiful roles. And when I was very, very young, I wanted to be loud. I wanted to be big. I wanted to convince. I wanted to impress. And what I did, I pushed. as very often it happens when we are a bit young, unexperienced, unconscious. And what happened is that I had no high notes. So I thought, maybe not a soprano, huh? I'm a mezzo. Well, the color was dark, no high notes. I'm a mezzo. Of course, I was not a mezzo. I was a soprano with some problems on high notes because, in fact, I was pushing and not releasing on the high register. When I learned, and this came later with the years and with the maturity, that I was able to release, I was able to let go, I was able to surrender. Boom! The throat, boom, open, and oh my God, that's it. The truth came out on its own. Yes. Another misconception, which might also impact your singing, is when we think, for example, well, diction and even interpretation might come at the very end of the study of an aria, or maybe even at the very end of the studies. Well, be aware that the diction creates and does not decorate your sound. It creates your sound. It creates the placement of the sound, the diction. So it is not at the very end, but it is at the very start. It's not the decoration of the cake, it is the cake. And interpretation also, the interpretation will give you the right color, the right dimension, the right weight to the voice. Yes. So diction and interpretation are part of the technique. Don't underestimate that and don't think, okay, I will think about that later. Yeah, some moment later. It's not the moment. It is the moment now. Yes. This is also something you should avoid. And last but not least, also if you might feel, oh, I'm ready, I'm okay, very energetic today, I can go in the singing without warming up. Well, this is really, really very unkind and very unhealthy because voice is not replaceable. It's not like the chords of a violin. It's fragile, it's delicate. You have to go with hand gloves and have a lot of respect, as for example ballet dancers have. They never ever start to dance and to jump without warming up, or even athletes never ever they would start to run or do any exercise without warming up. So why should you do that? Why? Remember that the voice is a muscular product. Point. It's not romantic. Oh, maybe later you can put, yes, a bit of your, yes, heart and soul. Why not? But first of all, it's a muscular product. Take it as it is. Be concrete, be realistic, be grounded. It's a science. It's like 1 plus 1 is 2, and 1 plus 1 is 2 from Monday to Sunday, from January to December. If you have a good vocal technique, if you master your instrument, you can play your instrument any time, anywhere. It's not about, oh, I have a good day, I have a bad day, oh, let's hope maybe Saint Paul will help me today. No, 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 you have to help yourself. You have to know what to do with your voice. If you don't know what to do with your voice, and if one of these misconceptions belongs also to you, and I'm sure that certainly at least 2 points of these 11 misconceptions affects your singing, maybe my masterclass might be the right place for you. It is created into appointments. So again, the dates are Sunday 12th and Sunday 19th of July. The link is here below. Also, you can find it, and I will also put it in all my social medias so that you can find it always. And you can really then be with me in this journey where I will be very practical and give you some easy, simple tools that will make your singing more natural and more efficient, quite on the spot. I'm a very practical person. And it is so open for any level, for beginners, for advanced, but also for professionals who want to, well, refresh their know-how. For these two appointments, it's 147 euros. And here in the chat, you can find the link. Otherwise, once the live is finished, this video will remain on my channel, and I will again put the link also there. And so that's it. I think that you understand that exceptional singers are not fall from heaven. There are persons who worked very hard, who worked with discipline, seriously, and day by day, step by step, like the little drop that breaks the stone. If you are not such a consistent person, well, try to become one. Because the one who makes it in this business, which is very competitive and very hard, are the persons, in fact, who are consistent in their work, who go on and go on and go on and go on. I remember that when I was younger, and I had not again immediately gained this clarity which I have today. I felt very frustrated. This is quite normal. It's quite human. But what I can suggest you do your daily work the best you can do today. We do not climb mountains in one day, the Himalaya. We do little steps, and then we have to rest, and then again, and then we have to rest, and then again a little distance, and then we have to rest. And in this way, we can go up also to the sky, and through long distances. It's really like this. So instead of looking up, oh God, I will never get there. Why don't you look the little steps that you can do today, but do them. Do them really. If this is your call, if this is your love, your passion, if you want to, especially to become a professional singer, especially if you want to, well, earn your bread with this, do your daily work. Don't look up the top of the mountain. Look in front of you, the 1 kilometer that you can do, and do it. Because this is important, and then you will see that in little steps you will conquer also this clarity. Yes, I in my masterclass will give you some tools to make it shorter, to gain time and also money, because time is money. If you are training wrong, if you're training in a casual way with a bit of poverty, no, stop the train. Try to understand what you have to do. It's about consciousness. It's about having a map, a clear mind, clear steps, knowing how do I solve the legato? How do I solve the passaggio? How do I sustain actually the singing? Is there a way to sustain the singing? Yes. How? Should I breathe more, less? What does it mean when we speak about sustaining a sound? We speak about sustaining muscularly, of course. How should I manage the breath? How do I control the breath? How do I do this? All these questions, these are so basic and so important. And if you are not clear in this, you will never become an exceptional singer. I'm sorry to say this very rudely, but it is like this. You need to know what to do. Like a chef in a kitchen, a Michelin chef was not born as a Michelin chef. He became a Michelin chef because he knows exactly how to do his recipes. The carbonara is always with the same ingredients every single day, 356 days a year. If you know the recipe of healthy singing, you will apply the recipe of healthy singing in every single area of your repertoire. So I don't want to give you fishes in your hand. I want to teach you to fish, which is different. You have to be calm, responsible, and conscious singer. Stay there. And this will become your strength. This will become your identity. This consciousness will make you very, very, very strong. People will hear it, will understand it, will see it, will listen at this, and this will give you the respect and the authority, because you know that you know, because you know that what you know is true, and people around you will understand that you know, and then things happens, and then people notice and speak about you and engage you, because you become a master. You become a master in your art. So I hope to see some of you in my masterclass, The Voice Unlocked, coming soon, this Sunday already, huh? 12th of July on Zoom. And then Sunday, 19th of July, always on Zoom, 7 p.m. Italian time. The link is here in the chat. And I thank every one of you for being here. I kiss you, and I and I wish you not only happy singing, but most important, a happy life. Thank you so much. And so I see you in my masterclass. Ta-tan, tan, tan. Thank you. Bye bye. Now I have to stop this live. Let me see if I can do this. Ta-tan, tan, tan. Where do I stop the live? I'm not sure how to do it, but in any case, I say bye bye and I see you soon. Ciao. Bye to everyone. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Ciao.